Today is July 1st, 2026. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, we are approaching America's 250th anniversary, and how exciting that is. I remember being in Washington, D.C. for the bicentennial, and actually I was there with my friend, and Gerald Ford was coming to the Capitol building right when I was there to open up the centennial time capsule that had been placed there in 1876. So we stuck around. Gerald Ford's entourage, his motorcade came along, and I had about 3 seconds to snap some instamatic pictures of the president before he went into the Capitol building. But that was an exciting time, and I'm hoping that this one is as well. I just want to read just a very, very brief portion of the Declaration of Independence. It was actually, from an historical point of view, actually voted upon on July 2nd, 1776. But it was voted again on the 4th, and that was when all the signatures were affixed at the bottom. But it was actually July 2nd that the vote was taken. But here's the declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's interesting that he said it's self-evident. We know it. It's not something that we have to learn. It's just something that is. And that is that we are, what does it say here? We are created equal. We're not born equal. We are created equal in the face of God. And we are endowed by God with certain unalienable rights. Among them, life. Pro-life movement has always stressed that of the three rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that life is the first right, the right to life. So I hope you're all going to be celebrating the 4th of July this Saturday, and maybe this next 50 years before we hit our 300th will be better than it has been the last several years. It's been kind of a struggle. But I'm trusting and believing that God is still has great things in store for our country. Okay, let's go on to some news. Some good news and some not so good news. A new Iowa law banning mail order abortions will take effect today, July 1st. That could save babies and help women avoid dangerous abortion pills. This new law requires in-person physician visits before women can obtain abortion-inducing drugs, ending mail order and telehealth access to drugs such as mifepristone and misoprostol. And that has been the pro-life argument, that in-person doctor visits is the only way for a woman to receive accurate and safe medical advice. None of this mail order and tele access where a doctor in a different state, 500-600 miles away, is going to prescribe you these abortion pills. How does he know how far along she really is? Let me keep going. Signed by Governor Kim Reynolds on May 20th. So it was signed on May 20th, but it took effect today, July 1st. The measure mandates that the deadly abortion pills be dispensed only in a healthcare setting following an in-person appointment. Every state should do this. You talk about healthcare. This is basic healthcare. If you need a prescription, you see a doctor, an in-person visit. Supporters also said that the in-person requirement will allow more stringent enforcement of the state's 6-week abortion ban. The new pro-life law takes effect amid a sharp drop in abortions following Iowa's heartbeat law. State vital statistics show total abortions fell 35% from 2023 to 2024. Drug-induced abortions, which accounted for 81% of the total in 2024, decreased by 25%. So the heartbeat law is effective, and this new law requiring in-person doctor visits, this is going to help save lives, save babies, and give more accurate and safe safeguards. Safeguards, that's kind of redundant, but safety measures for pregnant women. Okay, let me move on. Florida has already seen 2 important closures this year in the Sunshine State, shrinking the abortion industry. Yet another Planned Parenthood referral clinic has shut down operations in Gainesville, Florida. In the last day, they have a public notice. The last day of scheduling patients was June 26th, so just a few days ago. Over the last year or so, the abortion giant has seen record-breaking closures amidst the loss of federal funding, numerous lawsuits, and reports of numerous malfeasance and abusive working conditions made public by its own employees. According to Operation Rescue's 2025 annual survey, Planned Parenthood actually accounted for 67% of total clinic closures last year. Clinic closures, and we're not talking about chemical abortions, we're talking about clinics actually shutting down. Since the start of 2026, 10 additional Planned Parenthood locations, including Gainesville, have closed their doors. In 2021, there were 57 abortion clinics operating in Florida. With the closure of the Sarasota location, the number of operating abortion clinics has fallen to 47 clinics, an 18% decrease over the past 5 years. Well, that is exciting news. Exciting news that these clinics are one by one. You know, we can't. They're not all going to close at once, but one by one, they're beginning to close, and we're just trusting and believing that Planned Parenthood's going to eventually go out of business. Okay, last item, and a win for pro-life states and abortion drug coercion survivors. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals granted plaintiffs' requests for an expedited hearing in the case called Louisiana versus FDA. The appeal is scheduled to be heard on September 9. This week, 83 state and national pro-life groups, led by the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America, sent a letter to Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche, who has been nominated now to become the official Attorney General. So a letter was sent urging the Department of Justice to resolve the Louisiana v. FDA lawsuit by agreeing to a court-ordered consent decree that would get abortion drugs out of the mail immediately while the FDA completes a prompt, vigorous safety review. And I think I talked about that last time or the time before, that the government is doing a review on these abortion pills. And we'll see how it all plays out. Okay. Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America President Marjorie Dannenfelser commented. It's kind of a long quote here, but here's the quote. The latest big legal win against the illegal mail-order abortion drug regime is another sign pro-life, pro-woman plaintiffs have a strong case. The harms to women and children and to state sovereignty from mail-order abortion drugs are real and ongoing. A devastating new report finds blue state shield laws enabled the shipping of more than 330,000 abortion drugs into states with pro-life protections since mid-2023, while monthly shipments nearly tripled, all with no in-person medical evaluation required. An estimated 15,000 babies a month are killed in pro-life states alone. And there's no telling how many of these drugs end up stockpiled by abusers and traffickers and used to poison women without their knowledge or consent. This was always the abortion industry's plan to nullify life-saving protections after the Dobbs decision, unquote. So it does appear that the pro-life movement has definitely put chemical abortion, in-person or mail order prescriptions, in the crosshairs, and we are looking out for the safety of women and children. Women need to go to an in-person physician to get a prescription for these 2 abortion pills, and we'll see how this all plays out in the courts. Because if the FDA were to come back and say, well, we've done another review on mifepristone and it's not safe. It's not safe up to the 10th week, and they may pull back to the 7th week, which is where it was in the beginning, which is a step in the right direction, but it's not where we want this to go. We want to see the abortion pills prohibited in the U.S. Mifepristone and misoprostol. We need to see these drugs taken off the market and protect women and to save babies' lives. And if not, the abortion pill reversal needs to be in place in all 50 states. And if the funding is there, we'd love to see the abortion pill reversal in every single pregnancy care center in the country. Because women need to know that if they've taken that first drug and they change their mind, that there is an avenue they can take to reverse the effects of mifepristone. Before they take misoprostol that will expel that baby and kill the child, the doctors can intervene and save that baby's life. And with that, remember, the 4th of July is coming up in just a few days. Celebrate America's founding 250 years. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.